All right, welcome to Men Unmuted, yet another episode. Thank you guys for joining us. My name is Josh SB, standing in for Keith today, but let's see how it goes. The guest on my table today is, I'm extremely honored to actually interview this gentleman. I've been listening to him on radio for a very long time, right from the days of the Vision Group all the way to Next Radio and now Sanyu FM. It's a bit interesting because he's usually the one interviewing people on the other side. So me getting to interview him, it's like taking an exam with a professor, and you have no idea how that's going to turn out.
Don't worry, there's no marking guide.
There's no marking guide.
There's no marking guide.
Hey, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Moses Rudende.
Hello.
How you doing, my guy?
I'm quite well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Yeah.
It's a very big honor to have a conversation. Yeah.
Thank you. The privilege is all mine.
Yeah. This is Men Unmuted. We're just trying to have a couple of discussions that we can't just have everywhere.
Yeah. I wanted to ask, Men Unmuted, what is that? Okole dobozi kati.
Yeah.
Okole dobozi.
Yes. Yeah, we're just trying to find, our voice out there in all the chaos.
Yeah.
I think it's about time we start to have these kinds of conversations.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's not much platforms where there's not many safe spaces for us to have these kinds of conversations.
That's very true.
Yeah. First of all, away from being a radio host and a media personality,
Yes, sir.
Growing up, even just as a man, what was the dream? What was that thing in your head where, like, when you grow up, I think this is it?
Man, it was a very dynamic dream growing up. I can't say, and I don't think anybody can safely say that the dream that they had when they were 6 is the same dream they had when they were 13 or when they were 18. Because starting out, I wanted to be an astronaut. I thought it was really, really cool.
Astronaut?
Yes.
At what age was this?
This is like 6, 7. Space age and stuff. I'm giving away my age. My goodness.
You knew about being an astronaut at age 6?
Yes, 6, 7, yeah.
Interesting.
Yes. That was what? Late 80s, early 90s. Of course, we'd heard about the Challenger disaster, but then people putting a man on the moon and stuff. So, and then also a lot of the programs that we watched, like, Defenders of the Earth and, He-Man, people in space and stuff. So you're thinking to yourself, man, I want to be an astronaut.
Yeah.
Then that one fizzled out very, very fast. Then I even had dreams of being a vet because I loved agriculture and biology. Had dreams of, yes.
You must have been in high school by this point.
Yes, this is S1, S2.
When you've studied some agriculture.
You studied some agriculture. What? You've gone to Kawanda Research Station, Namulonge, Kabanyolo. You're thinking to yourself, this is it.
Is that one in Gaza?
Yes, that's Kabanyolo, then Namulonge.
Okay.
Yes, and you're thinking to yourself, yes. Gaza, there's Nachin Sasa as well. On that, I visited them.
I didn't know about that.
I visited those places. You're there thinking to yourself, this is what I wanted to do. And of course, the dream evolves and evolves again. But ultimately, the one dream that I think for me stayed the longest was to go into academia. So I wanted to be a teacher of some kind. And I think I will still do it one day.
What was the inspiration behind that?
Molding young minds. Because as you grow, you start to, look at the workspace differently. You see maybe a bank job, sitting in an office, and it seems kind of mundane sitting behind a desk 9 to 5. So you want something that's very dynamic. And I think that was part of the inspiration of me going into the media when the opportunity came along, to have something that feels like it's fresh every day. Like if you walk into a class at the beginning of a semester, you're a lecturer, and you have 40 students. You won't have the same 40 students next semester. It's all different minds with different aspirations.
So it's a new challenge.
Yeah, exactly. People come from different contexts and everything. And so that for me was the biggest motivation. And I think it will still be one day, watch this space, I will end up teaching. Whether at volunteer level or professionally, I'll do it. I've given a couple of guest lectures, by the way, to university students.
Do you want to talk about some of those? At least maybe the most iconic one.
I did a talk to the second year journalism class at my alma mater, Uganda Matters, and was talking about personal branding in the media. So I did a series of lectures there, and it was quite fun for me, especially when you're dealing with students, you're talking, and not in the format that they know of being dictated to notes, but just to have a discussion with them. So that was fun then. And I think that only served to light the fire even more.
So finding eventually finding your voice. What does that do for you, even as a man? Being able to find your lane and say, okay, maybe right now I've caught this media thing and it seems to be going the direction that I want, and it seems to be giving me the voice that I've been wanting in society. What does that do for you?
That's an interesting question.
And I'm asking that because in the context of it up to now, even when you talk to like young people, it's still one of the biggest. It seems to be still one of the biggest challenges. It seems like a small thing, but there's so many people struggling with, I just can't seem to know what direction I should be taking. Or personally, even where I'm at Swangs Avenue, we get a lot of people coming to the academy and going like, my son has been doing this or studying this in the States or in UK, but they just don't seem to be finding their footing. Do you want to help them find something around here to do? Like, we get at all of that. And you being able to like find your direction, what does that do for you as a man?
Well, I think the very essence of who we are as human beings is that we are constantly trying to find meaning in our existence. And whatever journey that takes you on, it's a journey that only you can take. So like you said about the kids who say, they've come, I studied this, but I wanted to do this and stuff. So you're being pulled in those directions because, of course, there's societal pressure and expectations, and then there's what you want to do as well. Coming back to me and finding my voice, I guess I was just fortunate enough that I got the opportunity to, strike out my own path eventually, regardless of where I had started. Because it's funny how I got into the media. Then it was called Vision Voice. They were looking for a presenter. And one of the presenters on the station had seen me MC. And they asked me, would you ever think about doing radio? And I said, okay, you know what? Why not? I was an economics graduate. So I was waiting for graduation. Finished papers, waiting for graduation. I said, you know what? I'm going to do this maybe 3 months and see where it ends up. After graduation, go at a different path. Next thing I knew, it was 8-10 years later. So plans can change. Plans can change at the drop of the hat. But especially for a guy, there is, like I said, there are certain expectations of you.
Yes.
There's a way that a man should progress and live his life. So there are certain milestones that you must hit at every different point, which people might not exactly see if you're somebody in the media, you see, because you have a public persona.
Especially at the time you started it.
Yes.
Around the time you started.
Exactly. You have a public persona, but there's a private persona. So you sometimes you don't live your life out loud beyond that which you want to share with the audience, you see. So I'm just fortunate enough that I kind of had a chance to do it on my terms before the pressure of social media to be a certain way. But you could grow and find yourself as opposed to come into a place where people expect you to be a certain way. Like a lot of the presenters now, it's almost template-ish. And if that makes sense. Everybody's coming out and they're almost the same. As opposed to the generation preceding this generation. So the generation of 2007, 2010, which is where I lie. People, you were able to grow your persona.
True. You carved out your niche.
Exactly. You carved out your niche.
People identified you by your style.
And then you grow, as opposed to people being straight-jacketed.
And that's interesting because, radio was not visual yet.
Thank goodness for that. I still feel that radio should not be visual. So the people who are repurposing content and putting it on digital, think about the most iconic presenters that we've had in this industry. They were disembodied voices. We didn't know what they looked like.
Nope.
All we knew is that they made us feel a certain way because that's what radio is. It's a theater of the mind.
True.
But they made us feel a certain way. They made us do certain things simply because we listened to them.
And here's what's interesting. We could, every other morning, we could imagine a different version of that same presenter.
Exactly. Exactly. And not just radio. Think back then. God never showed his form, his being to people.
True.
A voice just came down from the mountain.
True.
You see. And that for me is the power of radio. The fact that when it's just a voice and you can't see who is talking, you kind of zero in to listen to exactly what's being said, you see.
Yeah.
We lose that when it becomes visual, I feel. Yeah.
I totally agree. And interestingly, speaking of like, image and stuff like that, try and help me compare Rudende in the pre-visual era of radio. Then Rudende, who now has to be in the same space with socialite stand radio hosts. How are you navigating that space?
Man, like a fish out of water. Because it doesn't come naturally to you because you have a different kind of mindset. If somebody comes visual and they're already visually packaged, and now they're just attuning themselves to radio, it's much easier for somebody who was previously not seen and suddenly now lights, camera, action. You see, so a lot of the older generation, I don't want to say it's a lack of media training, but they are fiercely private people who don't want certain things to be shown in the public, and they're just happy to be who they are, which is radio people.
True.
You see, nothing against the socialites. It for them it just adds on to their already larger than life personality
going on.
Because they've already been living in the public eye, and now they're just adding radio to that.
True.
It's two different things.
Do you think it has impacted radio for the better or for worse, in your opinion?
It's always a good thing. It's always a good thing. I mean, it gives you another avenue, especially in this day and age, because think about it this way. Radio is not, at least now, in certain urban areas, maybe upcountry, yes, but in urban areas, it's no longer the first port of call for you to find out what happened and everything, you see. Back in the day, if you didn't watch the football at night, you turned on radio in the morning to hear what the scores were, what happened through the night, the news and everything. Yeah. Now the first port of call is digital. So digital is the landing page for you to drive people to your radio show, right?
True. Yeah.
So a lot of radio stations, if you don't have a digital strategy, then I don't know what you're doing. But that's just the times that we live in now. Yeah. But you can see it. There's a clear distinction between the crop that is raised on the internet and those ones who are pre-internet era.
Yeah.
You can see those ones kind of struggle with content, quote unquote.
Content.
But they're very good behind the microphone.
Content is a struggle for any millennial and above.
Especially with the elder millennials. It's Gen Zs and Alphas,
they kick it
like
off
that.
straight off the bat.
But they were born on the internet.
True. Yeah. Now, again, even with these things that have been evolving in that space, now radio is very. And I mean, actually, not just radio, but even all forms of media now. They have the fact that they're very visual, very image based. Do you ever feel pressure, to visually match up, or maybe hit the gym and look a certain way, or or dress up a certain? I don't know how are you navigating that space?
Well, I think now there is a space for authenticity. Before it was very curated, very carefully curated. I had to look a certain way, or the angles have to be right. I have to be dressed a certain way. But now people are leaning more into authenticity. So the whole, what's that thing called? The get ready with me.
Get ready with me, yeah.
So I can show you the evolution of this is how I woke up, but this is how I walk out.
Yeah.
You see. So that, and that helps us who struggle to carefully curate and put forth an image, and as opposed to just saying this is me, I'm raw, take me as I am. So that pressure, I don't know if it's there as much anymore, because I don't think we have as much tabloid mentality as back in the day, where people would say, hey, he wore the shirt on Tuesday, he also wore this shirt today. I'm like, okay, I wore the shirt twice, that means I own it. What's the problem?
I'd like to think it's still there.
Not as much. Before, it was big news to see somebody that you perceive as a celebrity / socialite taking a border. I don't think I don't think people react the same anymore to those things. Do they?
I think they still do.
But not as much. Back then, it was big news. Oh, I saw this perceived celebrity on a boda boda. Can you imagine? Now it's not so much a big thing, I think, because there are other things, and I think also because the catchment of celebrity has grown by definition, right?
And I think also the level at which we take celebrities has now also.
They're human. We're human. Yeah. Cut me, I bleed. See, please, just like you.
Yeah, but let's just go back a bit. Even in like your earlier days growing up, did you have any struggles as a man?
Man, we all did. We all did.
That you just felt like I can't.
I think we all did. African sons with African dads. It's especially if your father was in a certain line of work, or if they carried themselves a certain way, there was a pressure for you to at least align yourself or be close to the way that your father is or was held in society.
True.
So society would expect certain things of you because they're like, you're so-and-so's son. But he doesn't do this. Where did you learn that from? You see that kind of thing. True. So those struggles were there. But also there's also the self-image, because you're trying to find yourself. How do you find yourself and stand out from the crowd while being true to who you are and yet still not going too against the grain? I don't know if that makes sense. That's a very long sentence. Yeah. But everybody is doing things a certain way, right? So you want to fit in but stand out. And that's a struggle that all of us had as youth,
For you, how did you navigate it?
I was a bit of an introvert, believe it or not. I was a geek. Okay. Quite a bit of a geek. So I was a nerd, reading comics, reading books, playing video games. And so I found my niche that way. I kind of came out into my own later on, A-level, university and stuff. But before that, not so much. And not because I didn't fit in, but maybe the like-minded people, for me, also for them, they were in their own struggles. When we found each other, and we found a way to communicate with each other, things became very, very good.
Yeah.
But we all do struggle with that. Youth, when you're trying to find yourself. Yeah.
And are there along the way, are there people that kind of enabled you to discover yourself, or was it like just an internal?
Oh yes. Older cousins, older friends in the neighborhood, older guys at school. They're guys that you would template yourself off of, so you pick a bit from everybody before you build your own persona. Because I feel like we're an amalgamation of everybody that we meet. You take something from somebody, like I say, okay, Josh is really confident with the way that he handles this, so you try to model yourself on that. But another guy is really suave in under pressure. Take a bit of that. This guy dresses a certain way. Okay, I can't dress like that exactly, but maybe I can borrow something from him. So you find yourself as a patchwork of many people who influenced you back in the day. That uncle who was, everybody thought he was like the black sheep of the family, but for us, we're like, that's the coolest uncle that we have. Uncle. You see it. So you pick something from everybody. But in doing that, you find yourself. So life is like a buffet. Pick a bit of everything and you go with your plate. You might have chicken, you will have fish, but we're both enjoying the meal from the same table.
And were there specific people that kind of mentored you, or that you like had a one-on-one, often had one-on-ones with, that could have impacted how you discovered yourself? Was there room for that?
Yeah, there were a couple of people. I have an uncle who has lived an amazing life. Uncle Ralph, I hope you see this. Uncle Ralph has had an amazing life. He's 80 years old, by the way. Wow. And he's done everything. He's been an engineer. He was a trained engineer. He was a photographer. He's been a biographer. He's been a farmer. He's been a sportsman. He was a biker. He's done all sorts of things in his 80 years of life. So for me, he's a big influence. My father was a big influence as well. A couple of older cousins, and even friends that you meet along the way, people who interacted with my older cousins, but you know how they also become your friends, and that relationship also gains legs and takes on a life of its own. So there have been many people, older cousins, friends, in your social circles, friends at uni, friends in religious circles as well, from the rugby fraternity as well. There are many people who have influenced me there. So they're there. You pick something from everybody because I feel like everybody has something to offer if you look deep enough.
But who of those was the actual turning point for you? Who of them really stood out and where you can mark and say, you know what, when I interface with this guy, everything changed?
If I speak purely from the media standpoint, purely from the media standpoint, when I met KK, things changed because he helped me build the persona that I am. KK, I don't know if you know KK.
I know KK.
KK, I think, is the best radio presenter we've had in this country. Plain and simple. Whichever way you look at it, I will take it to the bank. Take it to the bank. KK, I feel, is the best radio presenter we've had in this country. And he's the one who helped me find myself, find my voice, find my persona. Right. So when it comes to media, I would say he's the biggest influence. The people that I have worked with have also influenced me. For instance, I've worked for a very long time with Seema. Seema knows how to bring out certain elements of my persona that not many other people can. Right. So she helped me become a better person on air. So
are you sure it's not because that's your squad? Like you're just shouting out your squad?
I'm not shouting out my squad, but you find your vibe and they become your tribe, don't you?
Okay.
Yeah. So, and also generally because I have lived and worked with them for a very, very long time. There is a producer, I wonder where he is. He's called Alex Jita.
Alex Jita, name sounds familiar.
Very quiet guy, but a radio genius. He's set up a number of radio stations across the country. And so I also worked with him at the beginning when now I was striking out on my own, and he was my producer. Alex Jita, amazing, amazing personality in that man.
Yeah. So
those are the people that I think who helped coax out the persona that is Rudende today.
What about in your personal life? The people that that affected your growth as a man, or your self-discovery as a man? Like who's that person that you can say, you know what, when I met this person, it was a turning point for me?
I don't think that there was one such person who was a turning point, because the people who have lasting influence, especially because of the proximity they have to your life, like my parents, very big influences. I like to call him my older, younger brother. Interestingly, he's also called Joshua.
Interesting.
But he's been a very, very steady influence in my life. And when we're out in public, people often confuse him for the older brother, and yet I'm older than him by 2 years. But he's always been that person since we were kids. Very mature, very level-headed, very sensible. And so even when I've been making big life plans, when I make big decisions, I run it by him first before anybody else. Even before my mother, I will call Joshua first and tell him, "Hey, boss, can you talk? This is what I'm thinking." Right. So I couldn't pinpoint one such person, but there's everybody who has been, at particular points, has had tremendous influence on my life.
I'm a bit curious here. Are there moments where you've been on radio and you're giving your audience what they want, you're entertaining people, but internally you're probably like struggling with something? Have there been moments of that kind? Yeah,
there have been moments. Plenty of moments. You see, the thing about radio, if you were doing radio, what show would you do?
I don't think I would be doing. I personally think I would be a DJ.
No, but for the purposes of this example, you're doing a radio show, morning, mid-morning, evening, late night.
I think I would do like a lunchtime show.
A lunchtime request, right? So you're doing a lunchtime request. It's called What's on the Menu? Josh SB. What's on the menu with Josh SB? That's not even a program liner. That's a promise. So when the audience tunes in, they want to hear what's on the menu with Josh SB. They don't care about what's happening in your life. They simply want to know, are you there? Can I listen to you? For me, I've tuned in. I want to hear Josh SB, right? I buried my older brother in Feb this year. He'd been in hospital for about 4 months, and I was one of his primary caregivers. So I'd come, do the show, and then go to the hospital. The next day, come back, do the show. And this whole time, I am seeing him go because it was stage 4 cancer. You see?
That's insane.
Yeah. The audience didn't know. And quite frankly, the audience wouldn't care. The people, when they tune in the morning, they want to hear, how are you going to make sense of the world for us? How are you going to entertain and inspire us on the way to work?
And it's the morning. Right? They want positive energy.
Exactly. You see? And think about this. The people that you are seeing, the people that you are hearing, seeing in the media, hearing, listening to in the media, they have other lives. They have a whole other life out there. But many times the audience doesn't care about that.
True.
For them, they only care about, this is how I know you. This is what I want to hear from you.
You must be that all the time.
You must be on. When I switch on, I want to hear you bright and early, lively to do your thing. Yeah. And they don't know that you have this going on in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's one of those things, man. It comes with the job.
Yeah, and even with that kind of situation, like how did you manage to, assuming you've even managed to come out of it, how did you even like navigate that kind of trying moment?
Well, it helps to have a very good support system at home and at work, because at work behind the scenes they knew what was going on. So somebody knows, like, if you're low energy that day, they'll be like, "No, don't worry, I got you," and so they'll carry the show. At work, if somebody sees you're a certain way, they're like, "You know what? I understand you're going through this and stuff." So it helps if you talk to and have a good support system. But ultimately, at the end of the day, life will life. And you have to show up.
True.
Because life won't stop.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So deal with your stuff. Go and have a good cry if you want to. But come and show up. Show up.
Now, that is very interesting because you see, one of the biggest, I won't call it a pressure, but one of the biggest aspects, even for us men, is the showing up aspect.
Yeah.
Like, because you have so much that's relying on.
What's that saying? As a man, you're only loved when you're useful.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. It's
and you see, it doesn't matter whether you. Doesn't matter whatever you're going through or what's happening, what's not. You as a man, you must show up.
You see, these graders, the earth movers.
Yes.
You see how they work.
Yeah.
So you have a situation where you want to put a road here. Right, but there's trees, there's anthills, there's like a hill and stuff.
Yeah.
You bring the grader. The grader will do 80% of the work.
True.
To move the earth, it will flatten. And then the rollers can come through, and people putting tarmac and everything. But the grader did the work first.
It did the work first.
About 80% of the work.
Yeah.
When that grader is done with that job,
they're
decommissioned. They put you on a flatbed, they go strip you for parts because you're not good for anything else after that.
True.
So they decommission you for parts. A very good friend of mine, actually another person who has had a big influence on me, he's called Leo. He told me that when I was going through my depression. He said, as a man, you're a grader. But don't think of the job. Think of the effect of the job. So I'll be decommissioned in a junkyard. My kids are driving on that road. The cars that come after me. And they're driving on a smooth road that I was able to make for them because I put in the work for them.
True.
You see?
True.
And so I guess that is the reward, right? So it would be nice to be appreciated in the moment.
Yeah.
Appreciate your guys out there, please. Yeah.
It's tough out here.
It is. But you see, it's one of those things. There's a saying by Henry David Thoreau that most men live a life of quiet desperation. You see?
True.
And as men, we don't have the same role models that women have when it comes to expressing emotions or even just identifying them.
True.
A girl will go and sit with her saying, and they'll cry together.
True.
With a man, more likely than not, he'll be told, man up.
Man up. Like,
Man up, move on. What? Why are you even crying?
Yeah.
suck it up and move on. That's what's expected of you.
Yeah.
And so you grow up without understanding or even being able to name what it is you're feeling.
True.
So are you depressed? Are you anxious? Are you
desperate?
Is it desperation? What is it that you are feeling?
Yeah.
And if you can't name something, it's always going to have a very disproportionate amount of control over you because you don't even know from which side to attack it.
I totally agree.
So what does a man do? They default to self-medication, substances, right? Or they pour themselves deeper into their work,
Yeah.
right?
True.
To try and, distract themselves from whatever it is that they're feeling. But that's very counterproductive because you haven't dealt with the root.
True.
But we don't, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing with Men Unmuted, trying to get that platform and give guys a space within, like you said, a space within to express themselves and even find themselves.
True.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. Actually, a man once told me that, a man once told me that half of the problems, and I'm just building onto what the examples we've been giving. I was going through something and someone told me, you know what? If you check properly, chances are you created your own problems. So find your own solutions to those very problems. And for me, it dawned on me, like the greater example that you gave. To me, that's the day it dawned on me that, as men, we're expected to just
figure it out.
Yes. As part of our mandate.
Exactly.
Yeah, on this earth. And like you said, sometimes it's okay to know that the reward may not directly be to me, but to the people that have been paving the way for.
And some might say that's a very sad existence, that your joy is predicated on others having joy.
Yeah.
But that's the thanks that some people are happy to live with.
True.
Even if you don't thank me in the moment, if I have done my part to make you better, to give you something on which you can, a legacy, so to speak.
Yes.
I think ultimately...
Legacy is everything for a man.
You think to yourself, man, you know what? He did well.
Yeah.
People don't understand the struggle that you did to get the others to do well.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
And it's sad.
Yeah.
It's sad, but like you said, it's life.
Yeah.
Society expects that.
True. Just a personal question.
Yes.
Do you have a family of your own?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Tell us about it.
I'm married with 3 kids. I have a teenager. It's still...
Bro.
Man.
A man? He's a man?
I know, she.
It's a she?
Yeah, she.
How's that going?
Let me tell you, my guy.
Oh, you're a girl dad.
Girl dad, by the way, 3 girls.
Yo.
Let me tell you, my guy. I woke up and she was a teenager. And I said, how did this happen?
What's that doing?
Where was I looking? Because as a parent, you'll always see them as that, like a little baby crawling, snot running from their nose.
You're living in denial for
exactly.
a long time.
I am. And she'll always be my little girl. But now I'm seeing certain things and I'm like, man, she has grown up.
Certain surprises.
Exactly. Back then, it would happen instantly. When I pick her from school, she'd run and hug me. And now the hugs are not there so much because I'm
more of catwalk to the car.
No. Says bye to her friends like, hey, what's up, dad? And then she jumps in the car and you're like, hey, what's up? Where's my hug? But because I might be cramping her style or it's not cool and stuff. So the days when I'd be like, hey, come and give your old man a hug. How are you? How was school today? Yes. You okay? Good. Let's go home. And I make sure I do it in front of her. Yeah. All her friends, male and female. I'm like, hey, how are you? How are you? Pinch her cheeks. Hey, had a good day. Hey, good. Let's go.
And she's cringing in
there. She's like, babe. But I understand, now she's a young lady now. She's finding herself. She's trying to, strike it out on her own. And maybe some things are not cool. There's also the teenage angst to deal with. Boys will be looking at her like, wait, look at her. Her dad still, what? Pinches her cheeks, what? So I realize even now I have to also reel in my malala. I have more love, but I can't be showing that love in public now because
you're playing along.
I'm playing along. Well. I'm like, yeah, cool. Move on.
What's the biggest challenge of being a girl dad?
Everything. Everything. If you're raising a boy, it would be very easy for you, I would think, because you understand what it was to be a little boy. You see, the whole lack of self-preservation, You want to climb up on the roof and jump off. So you kind of know the thinking of them. And so it would be easier for you to raise them because you basically...
You can identify.
And yes, but also for lack of a better word, you just reparent yourself.
Yes.
You see?
Yes.
With a girl, it's different. And even for moms raising sons, it's very different because you don't understand the very unique gender-sensitive needs of this person, both physical and emotional. I'll give a very good example. My firstborn, the teenager, the time she had her first period, I was the one in the Chintu. Her mom was abroad. I do not know the first thing about dealing with it.
What?
But I panic. Pull out my phone. I'm like, wait, trying to call. Time zones is an issue. Can't get madam.
Auntie's around.
I'm like, do I call my sister? She's not going through. So I call my mom, Aboli. Aboli knows everything. Like, yeah, I tell her, madam, this is what has happened. What do I do? My mom proceeded to laugh at me on the phone for about 90 seconds and said, very good. It is your cross and you must carry it. And she hung up on me.
Oh.
Yeah. She said, deal with it. This is very good. Be a father. And she laughed. Of course, she called back later on and gave me guidance and counseling. So I had to figure it out on my own. And I knew in that moment, I have to explain to her and show her that, what you're going through is a perfectly natural biological phenomenon. There's nothing wrong with you. It's all part of growing up and becoming a young lady and stuff, And luckily, Siso came over. She came, helped her with these things, showed her. But in that moment, I didn't know what to do. I was green. And if you judge a fish on their ability to climb a tree, it will always fail the exam.
That is true.
My guy.
That is true.
But that's fatherhood. In the moment, I had to be that person. Yeah. And so I was that person.
The things you don't prepare for.
Let me tell you, you can never be prepared. There's no marking guide to the exam called life.
And parenting at that.
You figure, there's no manual. In the moment, roll with the punches as best you can, move on. So man, yeah. It was tough.
And what's that one thing that you think the girls, I mean your children, what's that one thing as their dad that you feel brings you guys close the most? I mean, beyond just the whole template of this is my dad, this is like where's the bonding factor? Have you guys managed to discover that?
Yeah, I mean, one, availability. Dad is always there. When you need him, he'll be there. But also, as much as possible, and my mom observed it, grandmother, she observed it and she said, why do you talk to them like that? And I said, well, I want to speak to them like I have a 1.5-year-old when she was 1.5 years old, and they're starting to talk. I never baby talked to them. I spoke to them like they were mature. So we would speak like gangos. And that's the wavelength that I've wanted to maintain with them, such that I know that they never have to feel like they can't tell me certain things because I'm accessible. And my mom always...
Of course, there are things they'll never tell you.
Exactly, of course. But
that is a reality.
Yes, but I want them to have it at the back of their mind that it's judgment-free. Come and tell me anything. I've always believed there's no such thing as a stupid question. There's stupid answers, but there's no stupid question because a child has a certain curiosity and you want to foster that curiosity. You don't want them to lose that because then life is an open book to them, and if they maintain their sense of wonder, they'll go far.
Yeah.
You see, as opposed to just shelter and hide themselves.
Yeah.
See? So I've always maintained that. So for me, it's that port of call of I'm your friend. I'm your dad first, but I'm also your friend. So you can tell me anything, and we'll figure it out together.
Where's the line drawn? You see, many people, especially many parents, say that I'm your dad, I'm your mom, I'm also your friend. At what point does the line stop being blurry? Because I know both sides are very distinct.
They are very distinct, but again, it goes back to boundaries. If you've set your boundaries and the child knows, if you've communicated clearly to them that there's certain things I don't expect of you. And should you cross that line, then you and I, we can't be friends anymore. Then they start to understand that, there are certain expectations of me. Because if I'm going to do all these things for you, if I'm going to be who I am to you, I would expect that you reciprocate and do the same for me.
Yeah.
And for me, the best reward you can give me is good behavior.
Yeah.
Right?
Not good report, academic.
I think
how do you navigate that space?
I think that's... Here's the thing. We can't all be Messi. Right? We can't all be Ronaldo. Right? But we do bring something to the playing field. For me, I'm more content in the fact that I know you did your best. Not that you were the best, but you did your best. You gave it your all.
But how do you tell?
You can tell.
How are you able to?
You can see. As a parent, you can tell your child's strengths, you can tell your child's weaknesses. You can see what they're naturally attuned to and what they're not. And if they're not attuned to something, you can maybe try to help them and say, okay, maybe you're looking at this the wrong way. Maybe if you try looking at it this way, it'll become easier for you, you see. Maybe they don't like swimming because tennis makes more sense to them. Maybe they don't like music because poetry works for them. So you try to guide them along the path and let them shine on their own. Because you can't want something for somebody if they don't want it for themselves.
Yeah, but you see the challenge there is, while you understand, you're treating this a certain way, the school is not having it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
How do you navigate that?
I think, it is a tough... I've not had to deal with it yet. Because they're good students. They do well. But there is a way for you to bring out a child's potential. And if you can't, then maybe the teaching methods are wrong. You see?
Which is interesting because, especially as a parent of a teenager in this age, speak about your thoughts on the education system as it is now.
Education system, I think, with the new curriculum and the focus towards building not just cognitive ability, but also some kind of skill. That's a very good thing because now you have a more well-rounded human being. When I was growing up, we had PE quite a bit. I don't know if you had the same.
I did PE.
Yeah. I think bring back
I did a lot of stuff. PE, music. We had quite...
Bring back PE because it's not enough for you to say a child will only be an academic person. For them to be a well-rounded human being, they need to have, a whole gamut of things, like you said, music, woodwork, tailoring, and everything. Try everything before you find what it is that you really want to settle on. And so I like that is the way education is moving in this day and age. Kids picking up a vocation as well, picking up a skill. That's a good thing. Yeah.
That's interesting. I mean, we can talk about a lot, but I'd like just before we close. Just before we sign out, to the man out there, with everything that is calling for attention day in, day out, be it social media, be it all these things that are happening in society, what's your advice to a 20-year-old, 18-year-old Rudende?
If I could go back.
Yeah.
Buy Bitcoin. Buy Bitcoin.
That's the hack you discovered
that
way
is the
late.
hack I discovered way late, my guy. 20-year-old me? Boss, this is pre-social media era. Boss, buy Bitcoin. Are you going to send this guy? Are you going to send this back?
Hopefully.
Buy Bitcoin. Just buy one. Sit on it and wait. Yeah, you learn the power of compounding.
Right.
No, but all kidding aside, have a value system. Have a value system because that will carry you through the tough times. You've had I don't know if you've had this in reference to somebody that you know, or maybe even to you. Has anybody ever told you, and it's a popular saying in Kampala, the only thing keeping you from wealth is your morals?
Yes, I've had that.
that's not entirely a bad thing. That's actually a very good thing. Because it means you're a person of principle.
Yes.
Right? So find your center. Find that which you will ground yourself on, because that will carry you through the tough times.
I totally agree, actually. Because grounding is a thing a lot of men take for granted, and yet it's supposed to be a core of
Yes.
our being.
Yes.
Being having principle.
Exactly. What is it that? What are your values?
Yes.
You see.
Yeah.
What is it that at your very core?
Yeah.
I will never do that.
Yeah.
I would never do that.
Yeah.
Because then you won't compromise on certain things. Right?
Yeah.
And it keeps you on the straight and narrow.
Yeah.
You know, people like to say, find your north.
Yeah.
Find your north.
Yeah. I've noticed a lot of the men we call quote unquote successful, depending on what your metric is. If you explore these people's personal lives, each of them has that. And they're very clear cut about it.
Exactly.
So not
the things that you build on. And if you won't accept of it from yourself, you won't accept of it from other people as well.
Yes.
You see?
Yeah.
Simple things like being punctual. Right?
Yeah.
If you people will learn that when I'm dealing with Josh SB, when he says this is the time, it will be the time.
Yes.
Exactly. There's a query on audit and they say, man, this guy could have, no, we know him. He would never do that. You see? So find that which grounds you on the inside.
For you, what's yours?
Bitcoin. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, but for me, that's an interesting one. I signed an NDA.
Okay.
I signed an NDA with myself.
Yeah. But if someone interacts with you, they'll eventually get to know you.
Yes. Observe. I can't tell you, but I'd rather show you. Yeah.
All right, man. We can be here forever. There's a lot to unpack. Yeah. But let's leave them to chew on that.
Let them wait for part 2.
Let them wait for part 2.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, man.
Men Unmuted. Yeah, let's talk. Let's share. Let's build each other. Iron sharpens iron. I go by the name Josh SB. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let us know who else we should bring. Should we bring Rudende's uncle, the 8-year-old?
I can make it happen.
Please do.
I'm very, very serious.
For real,
I can make it happen.
Please make it happen.
Yes.
I would like to have a conversation with him.
Please.
Kind of conversation with him.
Consider it done.
I have a lot of questions for him.
Let's plan it.
All right. It's been Men Unmuted. Till next time. Thank you.